What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. We got a little bit of a sore throat today, so we're just gonna deal with that, battle through it. Got to continue getting these daily uploads out so we can get this series done before the NBA season starts. So today we got the reigning NBA champions, the Milwaukee Bucks. This is not only Giannis's team at this point, but this is Giannis's franchise. He's a former Defensive Player of the Year, two-time MVP. He's now an NBA champion and Finals MVP. Anything that Giannis says should go at this point. If he wants a bigger contract, if he's wanting a certain player to come into the team because he thinks it's going to help him, the front office should be doing whatever they can to make that happen. Because if Giannis isn't happy and he decides to leave Milwaukee, this franchise is going to be in shambles for years to come. Giannis is still a young player, so this is a guy that could potentially be in Milwaukee for another 10 years or so, just depending on how his health and everything holds up. But if Giannis leaves because he's unhappy there, then this franchise is going to go downhill. Chris Middleton is next to Giannis. He's that secondary guy, that secondary scorer that they've got. He's the perfect, realistic second option to Giannis. You could go out and say that a Steph Curry would be the perfect option next to Giannis, but Middleton's the most realistic, perfect second option to him, I would say. He's a little bit streaky at times, but he's a dude that can go out there and get you buckets. And when he's on, it feels like he cannot miss. We saw that in the finals in games 4 and 5. He had 69 points, I believe, combined between those two games. Dude was absolutely insane. Helped push the Bucks past the Suns. Obviously, Giannis just kind of hit takeover mode at that point. They switched up some defensive schemes, which really helped out as well. But having Middleton step up in those games is one thing that really helped push them past. And he's another guy, we've seen him and Giannis really come up from the bottom and develop into the players that they are today and now into NBA champions. And it's really cool to see, especially if you follow them for most of their career, if not the whole thing. But these are just two guys who really came from the bottom and just grinded their way to the top now. Middleton's just that 3-level scorer next to Giannis. Giannis is one of those guys that is going to just try and get to the basket because that's where he's best at. That's where he's the most efficient at. He's going to take some jumpers just because teams disrespect him, leave him open, and he can knock some of them down, just not all of them. So having Middleton next to Giannis is just, like I said, that perfect realistic second option. And then you've got Jrue Holiday on this team as well. And this is exactly what the team needed to become a championship team. Holiday's just an elite perimeter defender. You pair him with Giannis and Giannis's defensive versatility. Then you've got Jrue Holiday who can guard guys at the 1, 2, and 3 position. And you've got Giannis that can guard guys at the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 position. Giannis can really defend whoever he wants just because his length and athleticism is just absolutely insane. Jrue Holiday finally getting the spotlight that he's deserved nearly his whole career. He got that one All-Star nod when he was in Philly, and then when he was in New Orleans, people were saying that he was the most underrated player in the league, and then that just kind of fell off and lost traction, but he remained one of the most underrated players in the league, and finally got that opportunity to really be in a big spotlight now that he got to the playoffs with the Bucks and into the finals, and winning the finals with them. He finally got that respect and recognition that he deserves. He was putting up similar and mostly better numbers than he was in that year in Philly where he got the All-Star nod, and he was playing 5 less minutes a game. So he was really doing the same thing he's been doing his whole career, but people finally recognized it just because he got to be on that big team, getting big recognition, and a team that was succeeding, because that's something that wasn't happening too much when he was in Philly and in New Orleans. The team retains most of the key pieces from last season, but they lose 2 huge role players, in my opinion, with PJ Tucker and Bryn Forbes. Forbes, a lights-out shooter, shot about 45% from 3 last season. And then PJ Tucker, 6'5", power forward, center, wherever you want to put him at. But dude was just an elite defender. And he wasn't a dude that was going to go out there and stop a guy from getting buckets, but he was going to make those guys work for buckets. So we saw Kevin Durant put up probably 30, 40 something a game almost in the Nets Bucks series in the playoffs, but PJ Tucker was making him work for those buckets. Like he was making Durant tired. Tucker's just not one of those guys that's going to let you have an easy bucket. He's going to go out there. He's going to make you work for it. He's going to make you work all 24 seconds of the shot clock to get your shot off or to get a look that you like. He's not the most athletic guy. He's not going to go out there and kill you on offense, but he's going to wear out your star players when he's guarding them. So Milwaukee's really going to miss that. This team does bring in Grayson Allen, which is probably the biggest free agent move that they made, or I guess off-season move because it was a trade. But Grayson Allen comes in and kind of fills that void left by Forbes. Allen's not the elite three-point shooter that Forbes was last season, but that was kind of a first for Forbes. Grayson Allen's relatively been in that 39 to 40% three-point shooting area. So he can come in and hit some threes. He's just not going to be that absolute sniper like Forbes was last year. But Grayson Allen also does bring a little better defense than Forbes has. So he'll come in and play his role and try and get fit into the system relatively quickly. And I don't think he's going to have a problem with that. And then you're going to have the return of Donte DiVincenzo at some point during the season. Don't know if he'll start the season or if it's going to take him a few months after that. Because he got injured in the playoffs, a tendon injury in his foot. But when they get him back, it's going to be super beneficial for the team. And having a rotation between him and Grayson Allen as shooting guard is literally going to be like having the same player on the court for all 48 minutes of the game. But that's just going to be kind of nasty. You've got two guys who can defend their positions. Defend their positions well, and they can go out there and score the ball. So, and they're not going to be that guy that's relied on to score the ball because you have Giannis, you have Middleton, you have Drew Holiday who can score the ball, but he did almost shoot them out of the finals just because I don't know if it was the Suns' defense or if his shot just was not there, if it was a mental thing because that was his first time in the finals, but he really did almost shoot them out of some games, but his defense is what helped win them the finals. But anyway, Grayson Allen and Donte DiVincenzo, some solid defensive players, and going to be guys that can go out there and get the Bucks about 10 a game a piece. So that's going to be an interesting rotation to see how they divide up those minutes. But like I said, it's literally going to be like having the same player on the court the whole time. And then some other guys that are coming back are Bobby Portis, Brook Lopez, and Pat Connaughton. These are some guys that played some big roles throughout the season, whether it was regular season or playoffs for this team. Bobby Portis is one that really stepped up in the playoffs more. Lopez is a guy that has his nights. He goes out there and he can hit the three ball as a 7-foot player, which is still insane because he used to just never do that. He would just destroy in the post and that was it. But he can go out there and hit the three ball. He can still get down in the post and do some work down there. He's going to rebound well. So Lopez is another one of those guys that comes in and plays his role. And then Pat Connaughton's another guy who has his nights. He can shoot the ball decent. He can defend all right. And now he's got that finals experience with a lot of the guys on the team. So just having these guys return to the system and with mainly the same roster is just going to be big for this team trying to go back to the championship here. Season predictions for this team, I think this is about a 50-52 win team, somewhere in that realm. I believe they had 48 wins last year, and that was in a shortened season. Like I said, I don't think they really improved their roster too much, but they definitely didn't get worse. If anything, you can say they got worse from losing PJ Tucker, but you're really probably going to benefit on the offensive side from whoever replaces him or whoever takes his minutes. So about a 50-52 win team and hopefully a full season here. And then I've got them as my number 2 seed in the East, and I've got them getting knocked out in the conference finals to the Brooklyn Nets. Again, this is assuming that everyone in the league stays healthy, which is not realistic, but that's the realm that we're thinking in because we cannot predict injuries and we don't wish injuries on anybody. So that is my breakdown of my predictions for the Milwaukee Bucks. Leave your comments and thoughts in the comment section down below. Make sure you leave a like on the video and subscribe if you're new here, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.